Doris Chase Concepts is concerned with adding a new visual dimension to words, emotion, and dramatic theater. Mask is the journey of a black woman looking inside herself. It is a woman's attempt to unravel her history and discover her true source of strength.
My hand is moving in a slow procession across my face. It glides like an ice skater with a sure knowledge of the ice. My hand is moving in a slow procession. It is creating a landscape on this surface, a surface that I do not recognize. My new look, I'll wear my gray flannel man-tailored suit, first seen in Vogue, sensible low-heeled shoes, my hair styled, and the Wall Street Journal tucked under my arm like a battle lance. I'll charge into that concrete canyon. I'll walk down Wall Street in my mufti, my face veiled by their illusions.
Was I born a twin? Did my sister die at birth? Was she buried in a secret grave beside the Nile? In her voyage through the birth canal, did she take the umbilical cord in her baby fist and strangle herself rather than live in this exile?
Mama, dressed in a mink chubby with a big corsage, smiling in a nightclub on VJ Day. Mama called last night. Good luck tomorrow, honey. You'll be the first color director they have there. Mama under siege from the day she was born. Just keep working hard. Dad on the basement extension next to his pool table. Work hard and be on time. No CP time. CP time is Billie Holiday singing behind the beat. Well, she's dead, you know, Dad would sing. If I take this off, my skin may come off too, like the flesh of the Hiroshima victims when they were touched. the minefields of committee meetings, acres of computer readouts like the lace on the wedding dress of some monster bride, the dead brown eyes in key punch. They say the working world will soon be silent. The robots are coming, and I am ready. I've been preparing all my life. Today, I will be promoted to director. The first, like Mama said, there'll be a big parade down the street back home. They'll tear to shreds their first-class tickets to Jamaica. All the women will don their best wigs, wigs named Lisa and Nancy and Debbie. I will be acclaimed an authentic credit to the race. The race against myself. The race they all lost. I am all of 15 and a half, posing in the bathroom mirror, holding my official fan club portrait of Sandra D. Sandra is in half profile, her face turned saucily to whatever man owned a surfboard and a Mustang convertible. Her eyes flash scenes from the beach at Malibu. It never rains in California, the Musketeers sing. I sit in the mirror and practice Sandra's smile, Sandra's tilt of the head. Dad buys me a book about Harriet Tubman, but Sandra D is the heroine of my secret self. If I take this off, my skin may come off too, like the flesh of the Hiroshima victims when they were touched. Church down south. It was like the blast at Los Alamos. The blind could see the light. And I thought only old people died. Glad I left the South, Dad said while building a cabinet for his bowling trophies. Daddy, why do you work so much? Why aren't you ever here when I need you? 'Cause I want you to go to good school and have nice clothes and lunch money. No dried up bologna sandwiches and greasy bags for you. Then, Daddy, are overcooked hamburgers made by somebody else's mother the reason you left Mississippi on the midnight train and joined Patton's army? You were a hard-eyed old man at 6 years old. One cold night during the McCarthy era, you stood up to a mob of men with Slavic names. Did you stand up to their northern industrial threats for a home in the suburbs? For children who took pride in not knowing the words to gospel songs? Mama, my skirt is bloody. Don't sneak me in the bathroom, Mama. Mama, you're talking too fast. Your words are too casual. No, Mama, I won't tell Daddy. Yes, Mama. I understand. I can't play with boys anymore. And I'll remember to keep my skirt down. Yes, Sister Calexa, I won't give occasion for sin. No, Sister, I don't want a black soul. A black soul will send you to hell. Black is bad. Sister's pale blue eyes are like the oceans on the moon. Her hair, golden brown, inching from her wimple. I drew a self-portrait on white paper, and I did not color it in. Crackling and sizzling. And the brightly colored ribbons and the pain. Sitting in my bedroom dressed in a slip, thinking cool thoughts so that my hair wouldn't go back. And staring at my bedroom wall, talking to Sandra D, knowing that she'll understand. Before he went off to school, his name was David. Before he went off to school, he wore more Brooke Brothers shirts than anybody on the block. Pinks blew the whitest whites. He wore Jade East, and his pants were always creased. We used to sit on the front porch and talk about our fondest dreams, to own LTDs. But when he came back, his name was Hassan. And he wouldn't eat my dad's special barbecue anymore. And he wore dashikis. And he spoke either very softly and slowly or very loudly with his arms waving in the air like the conductor of some ghost chorus. Now David Hassan had no dreams to share with me. Not until I let my hair grow into its natural state and walk 2 steps behind him. Our street, once so stately and serene, with the quiet of those afraid to be thought low life, our street was quickly being filled One rainy night, while my parents were at a dinner party, my hymen was torn into shreds by David Hassan, who said he was a warrior. Now, I was very correct in front of white people. I lived in a house where the women were 4 to a man, where I learned to prepare millet traditionally and run a mimeograph machine. I shared David Hassan in tribal compliance until the hot afternoon he took me to a surgeon under the L tracks, a friend of the family. He had skin the color of cold coffee, and he touched me far too long. A man who traveled to the land of his ancestors on safari, who drank schnapps at treetops with the Prince of Wales. A man who brought back dead animals and displayed their heads at cocktail parties. He told me not to tell David Hassan that it was a boy. He slipped me his telephone number for a drink sometime. If I take this off, my skin may come off too, like the flesh of the Hiroshima victims when they were touched. My junior year abroad, I stopped pretending to be the long-lost princess of some long-lost tribe from some long-lost Africa. In a bedroom in Paris, with a man whose hair was the color of the noonday sun, I tore off all his stolen jewelry from Botswana land. And I forgot my French. I forgot everything. In the corporate boardroom, I'll come striding in, followed by 200 Nubian slaves of various ages, and I will dazzle those pale white patriarchs with a Cecil B. DeMille spectacular brought to you by 400 years on the job training. Survival of the Middle Passage. And how dare they say that we are only 30,000? choose for Wednesday afternoon ladies' groups. With blue hair and pink fingernails. They titter among themselves. They see. They see. And if women are slaves, and I, the descendant of slaves, am a special slave, who will be my deliverer? My deliverer. Whenever I prayed as a child, I could not imagine the creator of all life to be a man. Men were once little boys, and little boys used their fist and got their faces dirty and pushed and shoved each other and shot birds out of trees with their zip guns and drowned cats and made fun of you if you couldn't run fast. And I couldn't pray to a creator who did all of that when he was a little boy. I couldn't pray to a creator who did all of that when he was a little boy. Women were once little girls who pushed their dollies in buggies and who had time to hug a kitten and who helped you find a Band-Aid if you'd cut yourself. Women had babies and fed them from their own bodies and kept them warm with their own bodies. Yes, I knew all of this when I was a child. And so I could not imagine the creator of all life to be a man. I tried, but I just couldn't imagine it. No one would talk to me about it, no one at all. Not even my own mother. And so I learned to speak with those for whom the act of speaking is not their sole means of communication. Those whose communication is real and direct and true. And I found a mother God, the goddess within me, within all women. Babies speak to me, and animals too, as do flowers. I look inside the clear eyes of a baby, and we have conversations. We say, if you can understand the beginning, then you can understand the end. The beginning was this. A small black woman, newly freed, no living husband, 5 babies, set out for the north, with nothing but the clothes on her back and in a dress. She was a farmer, and she knew the land. She paid homage to her work. She cooked, she washed, she sewed, and she sent her children to school. But they did not have her analysis. They moved into fine homes, and along the way, they lost her. They bought, they sold, they did dirt, and they believed in profit first. And now my hand is moving with a life of its own. My hand talking to me like my great-great-grandmother talking to me. A tiny old lady, her face full of wrinkles the color of ebony, smoking a pipe in bed. Once I said to her, "Mama, I don't want to go to that old birthday party." And she said to me, her eyes shining like beacons, "Child, it's your life. Ain't nobody else's but your own. Now, they can catch you up in this mess, but you've got to change things. It ain't too hard to figure out. Life ain't nothing but change. It's your life. Nobody else's but your own."